right, let's get into it. Hey guys, this is your boy Swag for Life. So I have decided that I really have a lot to say, and there's just not enough time on TikTok for me to say all the things that I want to say. So I think what I'm going to do is start putting more of my ideas. I'm gonna do a TikTok, just kind of putting an idea out there, and then I'm gonna start putting a link to my YouTube page so that you guys can come here so that we can have a discussion about it. Because let's just be honest, TikTok likes to kind of downplay a lot of what we want to talk about. When we want to try to bring up issues that are important to us, they tend to want to ban those things. And let's just be honest, a minute is not long enough to talk about some of the things we want to talk about. So I have found that trying to get my ideas across, sometimes it just takes me more than a minute, and there's so much more that I want to say, and I just don't talk that fast. So that's what I'm going to be doing in the future. So hopefully this will grow, and I invite you guys to come here anytime, listen to what I got to say. And maybe if enough of us want to get together and kind of have these discussions, maybe we can start doing some streams where you guys can actually come here and we can talk about some of the issues that are important to us or have meaning to you. So let's talk about Lil Nas X, because this video, this Call Me By Your Name video, has taken off by storm, and I have never seen so many reactions to it. There's a lot of us that love that video, that are appreciative of what the video says and the message that he's getting across. But there are a lot of people who are not happy with Lil Nas right now, and I could not care less that they're upset. I am here for it. I think it's great that he is getting their attention, that they are ticked off, because now we get to say, but that's what you've been saying about gay people for centuries. You have been telling us that we are wicked, that we are evil, that we are going to hell if we don't change our ways. So he decided, you know what? I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to stripper pole myself down to hell. And Christians are clutching their pearls, and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I'm so offended. What about the children? It's not his job to raise your children. That's your job to do, madam or sir. And I've done some videos. I've done a video about this, talking about how, you don't want us to exist. You don't want us to teach your children. You don't want to see us on TV. You don't want to listen to our songs because you're so scared that we're going to influence your children to be gay. And, I've actually seen a couple of videos that really play up to the nonsense that makes. I saw one video where somebody said, so if you really think that this Call Me By Your Name video is gonna corrupt your children to want them to be gay, then have them watch WAP, and that'll send them the other direction. And I think that really makes a good point of how silly it is to think that a simple video or simple imagery is gonna somehow just corrupt children to somehow be like, oh, well, I was thinking this way all along, but now that I've seen this one video, out of all the imagery that's out there in the world, this one video is going to just turn my life around, and now I'm just going to start liking guys. I understand that people don't when they don't understand something, they tend to want to demonize it and they want to make excuses for it, but it's honestly the truth. And I'm loving the discussions that are coming out of that video, because we're basically, what he did is he basically held up a mirror to Christians and said, this is what you think of us. This is what you think gay people are all about. So I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show it to you. I'm not going to make any apologies for it. And they are losing their over it. And I couldn't be happier. So again, my thing is just this. It's not his job to raise your children. That is your job as a parent to do. I get sick and tired of hearing the argument that, well, what about the children? It's the same thing with like the gender rights, the transgender bathroom bills that have popped up everywhere. And now I'm seeing where you can't treat a child because they're transgender, or, you can ban somebody from adopting because they're transgender, or even going so far as to say that, transgender girls cannot participate in sports because they have an unfair advantage. And I just feel like, it's this constant, we don't like this, and so if we don't like it, then we're going to condemn it, and we're going to tell you that you can't do it, and it's always in the name of the children. With the bathroom bills, it was always, well, no child of mine is going to go into a bathroom with some guy who wakes up one day and decides that he wants to be a woman and puts on a dress so he can go into a bathroom and rape my child. First off, nobody's doing that. There's nothing from stopping somebody from going into a bathroom and harming your child if that's really what they wake up one morning and decide they want to do. No, let's just be honest about it. If a human being wants to do that, they don't need a law in order to give them power to do that. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. They're going to find their opportunity, and they're going to take advantage of it. So, this thing about, well, I'm not letting my child share a bathroom with a transgender person. You probably already have. You probably already have, and you didn't even know it. So, and let's just be honest. If your goal is to say that, well, the gender you're born with is the gender that the bathroom that you had to be assigned. If you've already gone into that surgery, then you're going to have people who look like men going into the women's bathroom, and you're going to have people who look like women going into the men's bathroom. So I don't really think you guys have figured this thing out just yet. I don't really think you've thought it all the way through. So that's my take on it. But anyway, I'm simply here to say that, look, Lil Nas X is making a great point. He's saying that, you Christians have been, telling us this way and making us feel that, like, we're not worthy, that we're going to hell. You're telling us that. I have been told that. As a gay man, I have been told that I'm going to hell. So why are you mad that I create this image of me going to hell? Why are you so upset about it? And of course, it always comes back to the children. I just think that Christians a lot of time like to use that as an excuse, because if you really cared about children, y'all would clean up some of the mess that you have in your churches right now, because there's some shady things that are going on in church, but we're not supposed to talk about that, but it happens. You know it. I know it. If you really care about children, then you will take care of that and stop pushing these terrible people off on somebody else and let them deal with it, because that's the problem. You don't want to deal with the demons in your own backyard, so you push it off onto somebody else, and you don't warn them or anything like that. So if you really cared about kids, you would take care of that. Look, my thing about Lil Nas X is I love the video. I think the imagery is amazing. The storyline is great. There's a lot of symbolism in that video, and every time I watch it, or listen to somebody else talk about it, I'm learning more and more about it. So he has really created a storm with this video, and I couldn't be happier for it. I'm very proud of what he's done, and I can't wait to see more. I hope he keeps kind of pushing that envelope to really kind of, and that's what music and that's what, artistry is all about. It's about, kind of pushing the boundaries of what is acceptable and making people think and having people have conversations about things that maybe they're not comfortable talking about. So I really appreciate what he's done. As a gay black man, again, I really resonate with this video. I think it's awesome. I really didn't listen to a lot of Lil Nas X before. I'm definitely going to be listening to more of him now. And I hope that he opens the door for more queer people of color to, push that boundary, to push that envelope, and to just put it out there and say, here we are, we're unapologetic about who we are and what we stand for, and this is what you get. Like it or not, we're here to stay. You're going to have to put up with it, and if you don't like it, then I'm sorry, you don't like it. And if you don't like what he did, don't watch it. You have the ability to click on that little X in the corner and not see the video. You have the ability to turn a channel if you see it on TV and you don't want to listen to it. If your children want to watch it and you don't want them to watch it, you can forbid them from doing so. There's parental controls on everything these days. Stop being lazy. Use the tools that are available to you, and let adults who want to enjoy his content watch it, because that's what we're going to do. I'm grown. I can do what I want to do. I don't live with my parents anymore. I pay my own bills. I can watch what I want to watch, and you can't stop me from doing so. What you do in your household is your business. Don't try to run mine. And that's one of the other issues that I have with Christianity, is the fact that they're always in other people's business. I've wanted to put out a video, and again, I just didn't have the time to put all of my thoughts together in a way that made sense. But you know, Christians are always saying that gay people are loving to force our views on everybody else. You wanna force it down our throat is the thing that they love to say, which I think is absolutely the funniest phrase ever when it comes to homosexuality. But we won't talk about that. But what I find interesting is that Christians have a word for what they do when they go into places that they may not be welcome, and they try to convert people into what they believe, and that's called missionaries. Missionaries are sent out. They go into areas that they deem as just seedy, or just not. They haven't heard the word, and so they decide that they want to go in and teach these people the word of God, and they want to convert everybody into their way of thinking. So how much of a hypocrisy is it for Christians to accuse gay people of doing that, when that's exactly what they're doing? It's the height of hypocrisy for them to be wanting to spread the word and convert everybody to their way of thinking. So much so that even in DC, I remember a while back, I can't, her name escapes me right now, but there's a Muslim congresswoman, and she wanted to be sworn on the Quran, and Republicans, of course, had a conniption fit about it, saying, well, this is a Christian nation, and how dare she want to be sworn in on the Quran? But that's her book. And to tell a Muslim person that they have to swear on the Bible is really it makes no sense. It would be no different than you going over to a Muslim country. You decide to go into government there. I don't know if they do this over there, but if you went over there and they wanted you to swear in on the Quran, and you're like, but that's not my book, but you feel like it's okay to do that here. America has freedom of religion, but what that also means is freedom from religion. You're free to practice whatever religion you want to practice. That is your right as an American citizen, and I'm not going to argue with anybody about that. You're free to do so. I will support you in that 100%. But if somebody else practices a religion other than you, that doesn't make them worse than you are. That doesn't make you better than they are. And if somebody just is not into religion, that's their right too. That is their right. You are not allowed to force somebody into something that they don't want to do. I'm not going to force you to be not Christian. You're not going to force me to be. Now I want to state this, and this is, just a disclaimer. I did grow up in a church. I grew up, my grandfather was big into the church. So of course we all went to church, and it was a big thing. We always went to church on Sunday, and he was well known, and I was supposed to follow in his footsteps and kind of be more of a figure in the church. And I always knew I was different. I always knew that there was something different about me, and I could hear the messages, and they just made me feel like I was a bad person, and I'm not a bad person. The one thing my grandfather always taught me was that, to be kind and to be good to other people, and I have done that in my life. I treat people the way I want to be treated. I try to be a good friend to people. I try to help whenever I can. I'm not a bad person. So just because I happen to be gay does not mean that I'm like an evil person and that I'm not worthy to be loved. And I have a problem with a religion that tries to tell me that I'm a bad person because of that. So that's the way I feel about it. And, nobody's going to convince me otherwise. But that's just the way I feel about it. And, I said what I said, and I stand by that. But there's so much more that I could say about this. And again, if you guys like this and you want me to do more of these videos, I will. And, again, if enough people want to have like these discussions about, things that they see on TikTok or things that are going on in the news, and they want to like come here and we do like a live stream where we have discussions, then let's do that. I think that would be great, because I would definitely enjoy the engagement, and that's kind of what I want to do. This pandemic has been a whopper. It has really, kind of put a clamp on a lot of things, but one of the things that was born out of this pandemic was, me wanting to be more engaging with people. I miss people. I don't get out a lot, of course, because I'm trying to stay safe and whatnot. Did get my vaccine, and I'm happy about that. I'll be happy when I get my second shot. But it started a movement within me that I wanted to get online and kind of be more of a presence and to talk more and to say how I feel and just kind of just be more in the moment. So, and that's what I'm trying to do. And I really hope that you guys appreciate that and want to join in on the conversation too. I would love to hear what you had to say, and I would love to hear, let's talk about it. Let's just talk about whatever it is we want to talk about, because that's what I'm here to do. So anyway, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you listening to me rant and rave and go on for how long has it been? 15 minutes or so. But that's going to be all I'm going to say for now. But thank you so much, and come back and see me sometime. I appreciate it. Have a good one.